Joining me now is Eric Mandel, Director of the Middle East Political Information Network. It's good to see you again, Eric.
Great to be here.
Why all of a sudden are we seeing the U.S. push for the ceasefire, and not only a ceasefire, but one taking place so quickly in 30 days?
Well, there's a lot of ideas of why that's happening. People are trying to tie this in with what's going on with Khashoggi. They thought that they now have some leverage on Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince, who's the de facto ruler of Saudi Arabia, that possibly he can be rehabilitated because of the Khashoggi incident, that if he holds back on attacking in the Houthi-led areas of Yemen, which are Iranian-backed, but there are many civilian casualties, and I think America has really gone up to here with that at this point. And there's also a lot of congressional opposition to American military, even though we're not directly involved in Yemen, but American support for the Saudi-led coalition. If
you had to pinpoint it, though, would you say it's more an issue of leverage here, that they're using the Khashoggi case as leverage?
Well, Yemen is like so much in the Middle East. It is incredibly complex. Saudi Arabia has a true interest in Yemen here. They have a long, porous border. There is an area called Bab el-Mandeb, which is a strait between the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, where 2 Saudi tankers were attacked back over the summer by Houthi-backed Iranians with Iranian missiles. And so they're worried. Iran, this is, again, a great proxy war. And unfortunately, you have 10, maybe 20 million people who are in humanitarian danger, some of them from who have starvation, but the humanitarian disaster is real there, and they're in the crosshairs here. So America has a humanitarian interest, but it also, which is the value-based foreign policy, but it also has an interest, a realist interest in not abandoning its Saudi ally and seeing some way to come out here. So this looks like Mathis and Pompeo say, we have an opportunity, we have the world community involved. They want to have the UN with the mediator named Griffith to work something out here. But to believe that we're going to have a ceasefire and people are making all of these deadlines, I think this is unrealistic.
You know, at this point, we're talking about the humanitarian crisis here. Who's winning the war of optics in that case? Is it Saudi Arabia? Who's ultimately to blame in the international community?
Well, as far as, it's funny, you have the Saudis and with the UAE, their allies, bombing and causing civilian casualties. Americans say they're not targeting them. On the other hand, they're providing a third to half of the humanitarian relief of food.
And they want publicity for that also.
And they want publicity for that also. So there's no real innocent players that's going on here. But you know, the poor people that are in the way here are, you know, this is their country and they're going to have to pick up the pieces. It's in a way a little bit like Syria, except that this is the world's leading humanitarian crisis right now.
All right. Eric Mandel, it's great to see you as always. Thanks for coming back on.
Pleasure.